Barnaby Jones will return next Thursday night at 10, 9 Central and Mountain on most of these stations.
Word Balloon is brought to you by the League of Word Balloon Listeners. Become a patron today. Patreon.com/wordballoon. For as little as $3 a month, you can really help Word Balloon keep going and get exclusive content you won't find anywhere else. Here's what you get. The Word Balloon Magazine, a digital publication packed with behind-the-scenes interviews, commentary, and insights from your favorite comic book creators, writers, and pop culture stars. And you can join the Word Balloon Book Club. Join Brian Bendis and me for a live monthly discussion of a hand-picked graphic novel. It's a great way to dig deeper into storytelling, art, and comic book history. Word Balloon has been a home for creator conversations since 2005. Your support helps cover production costs and keeps these interviews going strong. So if you love comics, creators, and long-form conversations, become a patron today. Be one of the League of Word Balloon listeners. Patreon.com/wordballoon.
Its #1 Comic Con is back at Hagon Meet actors from TV, movies, anime, comic book creators too. Shop for comics, toys, and more. Dress up as a hero. August 8th through the 10th at Mohegan Sun. Tickets on sale now at terrificcon.com.
I remember when The Dark Knight Returns came out. I remember when Watchmen came out. So of course I remember when Kingdom Come came out.
Kingdom Come is 4 separate issues, 48 pages apiece. It was an all-immersive kind of lifestyle for me.
It blew people away. I mean, this was the most sought-after book there was.
This was something very new, very different.
No one had seen anything like that at that scale before.
It was amazing.
I never thought from anything that people would still be talking about this book 25 years later.
How you doing, everybody? Welcome back. It's time again for Word Balloon, the comic book conversation show. John Suntra is here, and as promised, and I'm surprised at the reaction that I got, my spoiler-free review of the brand new James Gunn Superman movie, ushering in a new DC era in film. We've already started to get a taste of it with Creature Commandos and Peacemaker. I always get it wrong, but this is the first movie. Great news, everybody. This was an excellent, excellent movie. And I promise you, I will not spoil, but I do have comments that I'm happy to share with you, as I promise you, this is 5 out of 5 stars. And again, see it. You will not be disappointed. I'm going to get into some of the comments that I've seen people at online, both in print and also videos already. They don't know what they're talking about. They really don't know what they're talking about. And here, right off the bat, a couple nice comments from everybody. Yellow VR joining us. Thank you very much. I assume this is Jason Millay. Looking forward to this movie. So far, reviews seem positive. Yes, they do. I think they're going to shout down all the haters. And yeah, I met James today at the movie theater. Nice meeting you, James. And good luck with MCD Reviews, another great YouTube show that everyone should check out and get his view on the new Superman movie. Listen, everybody. I just put it out a couple days ago, my conversation with Art and Franco, the Tiny Titans guys, and of course the Yeah podcast guys, about Man of Steel, our spoiler review. And it is so interesting, and I'm really glad I did that, not only to share with you guys, but also it reminded me of the issues that I had with the Zack Snyder film. I liked it. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, and I meant it. And the reason why I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, as opposed to 5 totally, there were some things that I felt were missing. One thing was joy. There was no joy in the Zack Snyder movie. It's so funny. There's that interrogation scene with him and Lois, and he points to the S on his chest. He's like, no, it's not an S. It's Kryptonese, and it's a symbol that means hope. Other than that, where was the hope in that movie? I even pointed out when he finds out who he is and he gets the full lowdown on Krypton and he comes back to his mom, Ma Kent, Diane Lane. He's like, Mom, I know where I'm from. I know who my people are. Well, that's wonderful, Clark. And she starts crying. Jesus, give the guy 1 second of joy, for God's sake. Don't worry about it. In this Superman movie, there's lots of joy. This man loves being Superman. This Superman enjoys being Superman. He's a great Clark Kent as well. He is compassionate. You've already seen in the trailers him saving people, right? Even in the midst of all the crap that he has to deal with, buildings collapsing, obstacles, villains, still manages to find time to save people. That's fantastic. And I love that about this movie. And it's like, thank God they remembered. The music is excellent. There are echoes of the John Williams theme throughout the movie. Forgive me, I don't have the composer's name handy. If someone on the chat wants to say it, feel free. But I loved everything about this movie. And also, man, Zack Snyder, no matter what the project is, because there isn't a lot of hit music in the movie, but he made me pull out my Shazam during the closing credits and also pay attention to the credits to see, various, songs that he uses. And they're great. The guy just knows what he's doing. And shame on me for even doubting the man for a second. My one small concern, and it wasn't anything that, it was even worth going into, but my fear was that maybe they were putting too much stuff in this movie. And I'm like, I'm on the one hand, I'm really glad to see other Justice Leaguers in there, but is there going to be enough room? Is that going to make sense? It did. I'll get into it. Tomb Raider joining us. No spoilers. I didn't like the lore change as a Superman fan, but the ending was so good. I'm fine with this. It's a different universe. I don't mind it, honestly. I'd like to know what you mean by the lore change. And James is back from MCD reviews and says it was composed by John Murphy and David Fleming. Yes, only a handful of original music, or well, I shouldn't say original music, you know what I'm saying, hit music, rock music. And they're great. They're fantastic. Seriously, I love James Gunn's taste in music. I mean, really, every Creature Commandos, I'm like, what was that? That's a good song. I want to hear that again. And all the movies, too, for that matter. It's, of course, Guardians of the Galaxy. Good Lord, he was like replaying my childhood, for God's sake. But again, David Cornsweet, fantastic. Excellent Superman. You buy him. You buy his compassion. We've seen those teases of those scenes of when Lois is interviewing Superman. And some of the stuff that she kind of throws out there and stuff, it was great. It was excellent, and it made sense. Lois is very important in this movie, but not in any BS sort of way. No, she is the investigative reporter, and she's falling in love with this guy. That's terrific. All of that is excellent, man. Okay. Tomb Raider saying lore change was Superman's message. Is that the Truth, Justice, American Way being changed to Truth, Justice for Everyone? It really, Tomb Raider, if that's your problem, small, really small, really, really small. He said he liked the movie, so I don't mean to pick on you, man. Again, hey, everyone has a right to like or dislike this movie. I'm going to get into the meh and the haters out there, though, but I'll save that to the end because there's so much good stuff to talk about. Mrs. Maisel, Rachel Broussard, I never know how to say her name right. I suck. And then James doesn't have to be my ombudsman and correct me if he wants to. It's all right. But she was great. She really, really was great. The whole Daily Planet group, they were all fantastic. I wouldn't have minded seeing a little bit more of everybody. I mean, Wendell Smith as Perry White was great. Cat Grant was great. Jimmy Olsen, man, they gave him a lot of great stuff to do. And he is really important to the plot. I thought that was wonderful. And, again, you'll forgive me, everybody, but I'm a 70s, Superman fan. And I loved the Superman family era when Jimmy was Mr. Action and investigative reporter, and as vital as Lois was as an investigative reporter. And those are good stories. Jimmy gets to do cool reporter shit, and it works. It absolutely works. It is fantastic. So, that's fun. Oh, Ephraim, you're very nice. You say you and me and my buddy Rob Meyer Burnett are the best reviewers. Well, that's very kind, man. And I usually agree with Rob. Rob and I are cut from the same cloth. We park our shuttlecraft in the same space station, as Rob likes to say. James says, if you're talking about Superman's parents, he says, yeah, that is what I'm saying. I didn't like it at first, but the ending made me like it. If you mean the Kents, I will say before we get into the Kents thing, I will talk about Jor-El and Lara briefly. Bradley Cooper, and forgive me, I don't know the actress that played Lara, but I will say I really liked what they did. And, James Gunn has always said regarding what he puts into movies that he likes to take a little bit from everything, the TV shows, the cartoons, the movies, and the comics, of course. And it all makes sense. And I won't get into spoilers. I promise you, I don't know. I'll actually ask the chat what you think. I was thinking about releasing a solo spoiler review on Sunday night on YouTube, and then I'll put out the audio on Monday. Regardless, next Thursday, Art Baltazar and Franco of Superman Adventures and Tiny Titans and Superman of Smallville, great Superman experts. My good buddy Mitch Halleck, the organizer of Terrificon, hopefully our buddy Wayne, and maybe even Scoot as well. We're all going to come on and we'll all have seen the movie and we'll totally go into a massive discussion with everybody. So, that's fine. But I was thinking about Sunday night releasing a spoiler thing. But I won't get into any specifics that are going to spoil anything. But I will say that I liked the positioning of Lara and Jor-El in the movie. And it was great to see Bradley Cooper as Jor-El. Another credible Jor-El. One of the things I liked about Man of Steel was Russell Crowe as Jor-El. It was excellent. And I liked that Lara too. I guess it's funny, and I agree with Tomb Raider. He said he gave it an 8.5 out of 10. The only thing woke about it is being a good person, which I guess is now woke. Yeah, seriously, man, really. I'll talk about the mez and the negative people later. But I do want to know if you've seen the movie. I really want your opinions as well, and I'm happy to read them as I go through the list. Crypto, fantastic. I'm sorry, I'm a dog person. I've told the story a million times on Word Balloon that when we got our family dog, I'm like Crypto. And he was also mostly white. He had black ears and a white and black face. He was a Cocker Spaniel. And it was my sister's dog, really. And she's like, Whiskers. And we're like, all right. But he was really fast, so we called him Whisk. And honestly, Crypto's energy reminded me of my dog's energy back in the day. And that's great. You've all seen the trailers. You've all seen when he rescues Superman in the ice and he drags him back and everything. I mean, it's on those trailers, so I don't feel bad saying that. Crypto is acting like a dog. He is fantastic. Yes, James is right. Crypto is best boy. Yes, he's a good dog. He is a very good dog. That's what I loved about when James Robinson wrote Crypto, and it was when Superman was fighting the character Atlas. And Lois is like, Crypto's kind of wild, whatever. And Superman the whole time was like, Crypto is a good dog. And he proved it in that story. He proved it in this story. A lot of fun. He doesn't oversave Superman, as I saw one YouTuber saying. It's like, man, I don't know what movie you were watching or what you were smoking when you were watching the movie, but it's like you're just looking for reasons to hate. But again, I'll get to the hate crap later. The Justice League members. Very interesting. That was one of my concerns. Is there enough room for these guys? Are they going to do something that isn't going to detract from the movie? It was great. It was fantastic. Guy Gardner, excellent. Nathan Fillion, I love that guy. I had the pleasure of hanging out with him at a convention years ago during the Firefly years. The sweetest guy in the world and such a good, genuine guy. And I don't mean that as a pun with him being Guy Gardner. Fantastic guy. Excellent use of the Green Lantern ring. You will not be disappointed by the effects when they show the Green Lantern energy and everything. Excellent, 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 excellent. Hawkgirl, wouldn't have hurt to have her a little bit more. She was good for what she did, and she had a couple moments and everything. Maybe again, because it's such a big, long movie, and again, it's really about Superman. Maybe not enough time, but a great introduction to the character. Really appreciated her. I thought, really, all of the Mr. Terrific was amazing. Mr. And that's a big relief too, because I like Michael Holt as Mr. Terrific. I was a big Terry Sloan Golden Age fan of the idea of Mr. Terrific. We didn't get much story back in the Golden Age, I'll admit, but I always liked the costume. I liked the concept. I loved when, sadly, they killed the original Mr. Terrific in the 70s in a JLA JSA crossover. But really, Michael Holt is a fantastic character, and I'm really, really glad that he was well portrayed in the movie, and really, again, is given significant things to do that are important to the plot, but not detracting from what Superman brings to the table. So way to go with the Justice League. Again, you'll see more when you actually see the movie. Nicholas Hoult, Luthor, fantastic. Best Luthor. I really liked Michael Cudlitz in Superman and Lois. I thought he was terrific and a very different Luthor than this. But you got a good combination of science Luthor, industrialist Luthor, political mover Luthor, and it worked for me. It worked for me in a lot of ways. This is the About a Boy kid. I mean, I've been watching that kid since he was a little kid. Of course, what was he in the X-Men again? I'm blanking now. He wasn't, no, again, I'll lean on the chat, but he was a fantastic Luthor. James says, I love Hackman and Spacey. Yeah, Spacey did a good job. I'm sorry he's canceled. Well, he kind of deserved it, obviously, for terrible personal behavior. But Nicholas Hoult is the best actual Luthor. I'm with you, man. Yeah, thank you, James. Yes, of course, he's young Beast, Nicholas Hoult, as opposed to Kelsey Grammer being adult Beast. So yeah, X-Men First Class. Thank you. And also Henry said it too. Thank you, Henry. Very cool. Very cool. He says, Prince Parker says, I love that he didn't talk in any of the trailers. His monologues were great. I'm assuming you mean Luthor. I agree. No, he was a terrific Luthor. I bought his motivations. You got a little hint of that Brian Azzarello, Lee Bermejo, Lex Luthor, Man of Steel miniseries from back in the day. And in a way that they kind of missed with the kid from The Social Network. Man, I'm forgetting everybody's names tonight. I apologize, everybody. Jesse Eisenberg. He was too camp, over the top. He played it like it was 1966 Batman, in my opinion. This Luthor was credible. I believed him. When he got angry, I got why he got angry and everything. I loved his support staff. Again, I'll leave it at that. You'll see when you see the movie. But no, I thought very interesting. It's Luthor Corp. It's not LexCorp as it is in the comics, and that's cool. Also, without spoiling, Gunn has really established an idea of the metahumans that goes back hundreds of years, and it's mostly in a pre-film text that you see. I like that, and again, I think it was a good comment, and it opens the door for a lot of potential possibilities of future DC movies and television shows. I am all for it, and it was quite well handled. The other villains in the film, credible. I think the thing that was missing in a lot of the Superman movies, not all of them, Superman 2, you had the three, Kryptonians. You had Zod and Ursa and Nan. So, you had three guys of equal power to punch around. I like when Superman gets hurt. There was another critique, Superman's hurt, he shouldn't be hurt. Well, then if he's not hurt, it's not much of a conflict, is it? I mean, there's Luthor's intelligence against Superman's powers, sure. But I want to see equal-powered guys punching each other. We get that. And we get a lot of it, and it's good, and it's credible. I like it. I thought it was quite good. Metamorpho, great surprise. Wonderful. At first, I'm like, man, again, another hero. Jesus, it's a Superman movie. Take it easy. Great characterization, excellent motivation, a really nice character arc for Metamorpho in this. The Kents were crucial in this movie because, and I keep picking on them, I mentioned Diane Lane earlier. I love Kevin Costner. I love Diane Lane. The potential was there for them to be great Kents. Everyone forgets, the Snyder version of Superman forgot, the man part of Superman is the life lessons he gets from his adopted parents. And the adopted parents are all about helping people and giving him good values. And yes, I know it's a much crueler world than it was in 1938. Well, I don't know. Talk to fascism in 1938 and tell me about it. I think there's always tough times, but good people rise above miserable times and teach their children to be good people. And that is the humanity of Superman. And that's the man part of Superman. The Kents were fantastic. I loved both of them. I thought they were terrific. I thought they were funny at parts. I thought they were poignant at parts. And not since the Superman and Lois show. I loved those versions of the Kents. They were like the John Byrne kind of Kents. And I guess you could say that about these Kents as well. They're great. Fantastic. Great speeches. I'm a big Glenn Ford fan from the Donner film, of course. And I didn't buy Kevin Costner's, no, don't save me. Of course he's going to try and save you. He's your son, for God's sake. I know I'm bouncing all over the place. But the Kents were great. I mentioned Jimmy Olsen and the Daily Planet crew. Would have been nice to see a little bit more of him. My guy Beck Bennett. one of my New True alums and former SNL cast members, Steve Lombard. Pretty funny. Good stuff. Kat Grant. Nice to see her bouncing around, literally. You'll see when you see the movie. But yeah, I thought they were terrific. Let's see here. A couple comments from everybody. We'll take a moment here. Let's see. A couple comments from James. James says, I'd love to see Zod in a future sequel, but I think they know better than to top Michael Shannon and Terrence Stamp. Maybe. We'll see. I mean, there's certainly room for all that. Henry is awesome, says, I liked how this was a true comic book world, not just our world with a twist. I completely agree with that. I think that is the biggest mistake that a lot of the modern movies make is, oh, no, it's our world. They do that with Star Trek, too. Don't worry. I'm not going to go into a big Star Trek jag, but it's true. Stanley loved it and says it's a really strong start to the new universe. I completely agree, Stanley. It really is. And also, it planted the seeds of future ideas in a lot of ways. I will keep it spoiler free and not mention some of the other ways. James says, I was worried about the fact that we weren't seeing that much of the Kents, but that scene between John and Clark was so powerful. Yeah. No, it came through, man. In the same way, though differently, but in the very same way that Glenn Ford in the Donner film, you are here for a reason. I don't know what that reason is, but I don't think it's to score touchdowns. And you just felt that familial bond. And I'd say that about both the Kents. Really great scenes with the Kents. And that was really terrific to see. It's a funny movie, which is great. I thought it was a terrific movie from that standpoint. I don't have much more. And really, folks, if you want to chime in more with comments or thoughts, I will remind everybody again that I gave the movie 5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was excellent. I did not see the problems that some of the haters and the meh reviews are talking about. And let's get into that. Because honestly, I'm going to swear, I think they're full of shit. I really think a lot of these channels, and I'm not going to name specific, I'm going to name one specific celebrity that stuck his neck out. And I'm really disappointed in this, although I shouldn't be surprised. It's kind of consistent of the person that he's been for like the last 20 years at least. But a lot of these YouTubers, they're out there to hate. And I understand. Listen, I don't have the audience that a lot of these people have. They have 6-figure audiences because they're all about hate. And they're all happy to tell you why everything sucks. And sometimes I agree with them. I haven't been crazy about Doctor Who. I haven't been crazy about Star Trek, obviously. A lot of new Star Trek in the last few years. Same thing with Doctor Who since Peter Capaldi left. And it had nothing to do with, well, it's a female doctor. I don't care. Just make it good. Make the stories good. And same with Star Trek. Make the stories good. But this, I thought, was terrific. David says it was way more topical than I expected to be. I really dug it. Easily 5+5. Stanley also said almost no big flaws, but the music score was a bit weak. Whatever. I mean, I thought it was fine. And I'm kind of glad from a music standpoint that there were echoes of that John Williams theme. Because that is iconic. That's Superman. That's like the Star Wars theme, which of course is John Williams. It's like the Indiana Jones theme, which of course is John Williams. You don't get rid of what works, man. And really, we've been enjoying that John Williams Superman music for almost 50 years now. So come on. Henry says, I haven't felt the need to see a movie a second time in the theater in years. I'm going back to see this one. I get it, Henry. And I'll be honest, I was thinking that too, that, I almost want to see it again. You listen, guys, I'm sorry. I just think movies are so obnoxiously priced now. And that kind of pisses me off. And I really am like, all right, do I really need to see this in the theater? Do I really, really need to see this in the theater? You need to see this in the theater. It's fantastic. I mean, people were asking me before the movie, hey, John, see it in 4X, because that's where I saw The Flash. And as I've told people, I'm like, it's a roller coaster ride when you go to 4X. I am relieved that I didn't go to 4X. However, I went to a Dolby theater. I didn't see it in IMAX. I'll admit that. But I did go to the Dolby thing. Because also, isn't like IMAX like crazy in the big cities, like $30 or whatever? No, thanks. That's okay. And I'm taking full advantage of the fact that, hey, I'm a senior. Give me a cheaper ticket. But the Dolby sound, my ass was vibrating all over the place. Man, I almost got sexually gratified with the rumbling in my seat from the Dolby sound. It was pretty funny. But No, it was great, man. It was excellent. All right, back to the haters and the mez. They're in the business to hate. That's what they do. Even when something is great, they're like, well, they could have done this, or I was really disappointed, or meh, I hate meh. I want to punch people when they come up with meh. I just think it is the biggest cop out of a go away. Go away. Have a real opinion. You either liked it or you didn't like it. And I'll even admit there are movies that are so. I just hate meh. I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way when I see that. But so many of these people who are in the business of doing hate reviews, honestly, sometimes I agree with them, as I said earlier. In this case, I'm sorry. I think they're nitpicking and they're looking for things. Some guy, and even in fact, somebody just said that they thought the music's okay. Fine. This guy had a laundry list and he's like, the music kept taking me out of the movie. Well, then I'm sorry. I don't think you were paying attention to the movie then. The writing is excellent. The story is great. That's another thing. Well, it's just a bunch of random things that kind of happen. They really don't connect. Of course they connect. It's a very clear story. I'm sorry. I completely disagree with that. Truly, they're grasping at straws, everybody. And I think the good news is I don't think the bad reviews are going to, even though they've tried, and isn't it weird that you get these people that are out to sabotage the movie even before it came out? Well, let's put a lot of negative reviews on Rotten Tomatoes and keep that score way too down, way too down. And it's like, no, what are you talking about? It's good. Prince Parker says the hits in the movie are very punk rock. Yes, they are, and they're fun, which is great. I got no problem with that. I thought that was terrific. But again, the haters, they're gonna get shouted down. And I mean, they've already got big. I mean, I've seen some of these hate views, hate YouTube shows. They've already got 6 figures of people that have watched their negative reviews. Okay, well, mission accomplished, I guess. But James, I agree with you, man. James says the movie does throw a lot at you, and it can feel overwhelming, but it never felt like overkill, and it was so well balanced. Yeah, I agree, man. Greg McKean says, I just need it to be good enough to give the rest of the DCU a chance to get off the ground. I'm really happy that it was good enough. It's great. And again, I think very positive seeds have been planted for these subsequent movies and TV shows that I think will pay off. My good friend Tom King is working on the Lanterns HBO show. He's worked on the Supergirl movie. I have confidence. And again, James Gunn is a comic book fan, and he proves it time and time again. He took that first Suicide Squad movie, I can't even say it, which was such crap, and then that second movie was so much better. Now, it didn't light the world on fire, even though it had Margot Robbie, because, again, the first movie hurt and wasn't very good, but it's a great movie. You can't deny it's a great movie. Same with Thunderbolts. And I know James Gunn wasn't involved with that. Thunderbolts is a great movie. I was just on Milwaukee radio about an hour before we were doing this. And I was telling the host, I'm like, Thunderbolts kind of didn't do well at the box office, but nobody other than Bucky, who's a side character, and Yelena, the White Widow, everybody else, who? Red Guardian. Who? Well, he's in the Black Widow movie. Okay. It's like you had a bunch of misfits. That's the point of the movie, but it's still a great movie. So I don't know what the Warner Brothers expectation is for this film, because I can also say that it drove me nuts since the Marvel movies and the Star Wars movies came back, that it's like, well, we're going to spend $300 million. We better make $800 or $900 million. Who the fuck are you to claim that it better do this? You guys are idiots. I'm sorry. And I really think the problems with streaming and the limited subscriber audience that they suddenly discovered, maybe everyone isn't going to jump on Max or Disney or whatever streamer you want to think of. I think they've come back to earth and realized, all right, maybe, let's have a more realistic expectation. But I do think this movie is going to do well. I think it's absolutely great for an all ages audience. And I think it'll be interesting. And it'll also be interesting to see how long of a gestation period is given in the theaters. I mean, the average movie now, 8 weeks Well, not even that sometimes. And then they rush it to streaming. I think Warner Brothers knows they've got a great movie. The pre-hype has been big. Thankfully, it lived up to the pre-hype as far as I'm concerned. That's right, Kit Kat. Welcome back to Earth. And Stanley says, you're right. So many content creators like the negativity. Yeah. Hey, man, negative sells. I understand that. I don't think it's right, but it's true. Hey, Scoot's watching. He says, we're all going tomorrow, family movie night. And Terrificon's own Mitch Halleck says 2 weeks before Fantastic Four comes in. Yeah, I agree. And that's going to be interesting. I think that's because all of us know who the Fantastic Four are. And certainly there are the other two Fantastic Four movies that they made in the early 2000s. But, Mitch says he just saw the Superman movie a second time. Wow. Very nice. But I'll be interested to see how well the Fantastic Four movie does. I think that's a tougher sell just because, I don't think they're not as well known as Superman. Superman is international. I mean, and it's reflected in the movie. You probably can tell from some of the trailers and stuff. But it's yeah. I mean, Superman's. I mean, for 80 plus years we've loved Superman. 85 years. Good Lord, 87 years. Jesus Christ. Come on. So, all right, here's the guy that I'm going to pick on. Dean Cain of Lois and Clark fame. Shame on you, Dean Cain. Shame on you. How dare you go out of your way? Oh, the Superman movie's woke. No, it's not. No, it's not. And I defy anyone who claims that it's woke to tell me specifically why they think it's woke. Because he's identified as an immigrant? I don't know how to break it to you, but if you're not Native American, we're all goddamn immigrants. Sorry. My family's from Europe. Everyone else who's come to this country, they can trace it back. Give me a break. The Yankees, and I don't mean the New York Yankees. I mean the Revolutionary War Yankees. They came from England. Give me a break. We're all immigrants. Get over it, jerk-offs. Good Lord. Yes, Kit Kat, I agree. Zero wokeness in this movie. I completely agree with that. I just think that is the dumbest thing I ever heard. And of course, the MAGAs are all, oh, it's woke. Oh, no, it's woke. Oh, it's Superman's woke. Look what they did. Look what they did. It's like, you didn't see the movie. You obviously didn't see the movie. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Really. Seriously, man. Jeremy, just saw it Tuesday and loved it. My favorite comic book I didn't have to read. Yeah, no kidding. Absolutely. Very, very comic booky. Again, James Gunn. He knows what he's doing. Yeah, Kit Kat says, I don't think they uttered the word immigrant in the film itself. I think they do. I don't know. I mostly when I read all that stuff, it was after I saw it, and I really wasn't keeping score that way. Stanley, I agree with you. He says Lois, Mr. Terrific, and Guy Gardner were great. Yep. And yeah, Mitch is qualifying me with my language. Yes, I agree. Sorry, Mitch. I know I usually pick on Mitch because Mitch lets the F words fly, and tonight I'm doing it. But really, I was so disappointed in Dean Cain. I interviewed J. Michael Straczynski years ago, and he was involved in the 80s Twilight Zone. And he said something, and I so get it. He's like, hey, man, all of us who've ever written whatever iteration of the Twilight Zone there is, we're all part of the same club. We don't crap on the other people. And I agree. And I think that's and really, I understand that Dean Cain is a conservative. Fine. God bless you with your politics. Think whatever you want to think. But I really think it was calculated on his part to really crap on this movie, and also to get all of the MAGA people excited. And wow, even Superman didn't like the movie. Well, I don't know how to break it to you, but really, he hasn't been a good ambassador of Superman for decades, sadly. And it's a shame because I really loved Lois and Clark. I thought that was a terrific show. By the way, Mitch Halleck and Terrificon next month at Mohegan Sun in Connecticut, August 8th through the 10th, I believe. I know it starts on August 8th. Both Tyler Hoechlin and Biddy, I forget her name, Elizabeth Turlock. They Superman and Lois from the Superman and Lois TV show. They're going to be at Terrificon, and that's fantastic. I cannot wait to meet them because I thought they were both incredible. Tyler Hoechlin, the moment he was on screen on the Supergirl show, it's like that's Superman. That's the guy we've been missing for a really long time. I loved Henry Cavill. I am the Father Flanagan, if you know your Boys Town movie. There's no such thing as a bad kid. There's no such thing as a bad Superman as far as portrayal. I really think both even Dean Cain. I think he was an excellent Superman. I loved Henry Cavill. I think the Snyder movies were not his fault, and I was glad to see him in Black Adam for that 2 seconds and everything. He's a great Superman. He was great in his little Shazam cameo too. But again, it's bad writing. When it's bad writing, it's bad writing. What are you going to do? But yeah, Dean Cain, shame on you, man. Just shame on you. How dare you? You know, be a team player, man. Toon Raider says, John, they just released a big article. James Gunn wants to do multiple projects and then do a Justice League crossing them over. Suspected the now confirmed Superman needs. Oh, wait. All right. Crossing them over. Suspected this. Now confirmed Superman needs $500 million to be a success. I think they'll hit it. Stanley says, did I like the Lex Luthor performance? I did. Very much so. Very much so. I thought really Nicholas Hoult did a fantastic job as Luthor. And because at first I'm like, isn't he kind of young? I was like, no, he works. He works great. I just saw a thing where he said he went in to audition for Superman and Corn Sweat was ahead of him in auditions. He's like, guy's 3 inches taller than me, much more muscular than I am. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to get this job. This guy's going to probably get it. And he did. So Greg says, Tom King put Dean Cain in his place a few years ago. King, I'm assuming he means Tom King. The last time he was ranting about Superman saying truth, justice, and the American way anymore, that he doesn't say it. Then King showed him Superman saying it up in the sky. Oh, there you go. It was Tom King. Tom King going to be a Terrificon. And well, by the way, I should mention and tease one of the shows we're doing next week. I don't know if Tom's going to join us now. Hopefully he can. But next Wednesday, we're doing the next book club for Word Balloon. And we're going to do Saga, the Brian K. Vaughan, Fiona Staples, the first volume. We're going to have a nice discussion with that. We're going to record it via Zoom so I can get more people who want to jump in. And it's people from Brian Bendis' Discord, and it's also the League of Word Balloon listeners. Now, if you want to be a part of it, you've got to be a $3 or up a month member of the League of Word Balloon listeners. And then you'll be on camera with us and be in the group discussion. It will be great. So I hope you'll join us for that. We're going to record it on Wednesday night, and I'll put it out on Thursday. Kit Kat says Holt was amazing. I completely agree. Fantastic Luthor. I also like some of the other little subtle nods to prior Luthor iterations and people from the Luthor team. Again, I'll keep it quiet if you don't know what I'm talking about. But again, I don't get the whole it's woke bullshit. Sorry, crap. I don't agree with you. I started doing video. And literally I just did it during the end credits because I wanted to see what comic book creators were mentioned in these special thanks. And I've actually got the list here. I'm going to let you guess who I was very surprised is missing from this list. Chuck Austin. Glad to see Chuck involved. I liked his run on Action back in the day in the early 2000s. Brian Azzarello. Makes sense. The Lex Luthor Man of Steel, among other, and his own Superman story for tomorrow. The great Cary Bates from the Bronze Age. Scott Benefell. I don't know Scott Benefell. People can fill me in if they know who that is. Lieber Mayhew, of course, Azzarello's co-collaborator on Lex Luthor Man of Steel. The great Otto Binder of the 50s and 60s. The great John Broome of the 50s and 60s. Of course, John Byrne, his excellent run on Superman. J.M. DeMatteis, excellent. Warren Ellis is mentioned. Steve Englehart. Bill Finger. Gardner Fox. I think Gardner Fox is in there because of Green Lantern. Ramona Fradon, of course, Metamorpho. The great Keith Giffen. I lost my place. Oh, David S. Goyer. David, excellent Superman writer, excellent Justice Society writer, and an excellent Batman writer. Tom Grunnett, wonderful artist. The great Bob Haney of Brave and Bold fame. Hitchy, my guy, Brian Hitch. Dan Jurgens, who is coming on Word Balloon to talk about the premiere and this movie, and also the excellent Superman special that dropped yesterday from DC. A fantastic 60-page story. It feels like a movie. It's so great. I'm so happy. Dan has always been one of my favorite Superman creators as both a writer and an artist as well. Gil Kane is mentioned. Great. Again, big Green Lantern influence there. Jeff Loeb, my guy, coming back to Word Balloon soon to talk about Hush Part 2. The great Kevin Maguire of the Justice League. Tom Mandrake, wonderful artist and a great storyteller. Luke McDonnell, another great artist. Grant Morrison, of course. Why not? Dennis Neville, I don't know Dennis Neville. The people that I don't know, I'm gonna throw out there for you, people. The great Martin Odell, who was one of the co-creators of Alan Scott Green Lantern, had the pleasure of meeting him back in the day. Wonderful guy. Also was the creator of Poppin' Fresh, the Pillsbury Doughboy. Jerry Ordway, our good friend, and certainly one of the Mitch Halleck's co-hosts of the Awesome Cosmic Podcast. I hope I'm saying that right, Mitch. But Jerry, great Superman artist and writer. The wonderful John Ostrander, of course. Oh, thank you, Mitch. I didn't realize. I guess Tom Mandrake co-created Michael Holt, Mr. Terrific. I didn't realize that. So that makes a lot of sense. Where was I? John Ostrander, like I said, of course, Suicide Squad. And, very cool guy. Al Plastino, wonderful Silver Age artist they don't give credit to. Mitch has corrected me. The podcast that he and Jerry Ordway do is the Power Cosmic, everybody. The Power Cosmic podcast. So thank you for the correction, my man. Frank Quitely, love his stuff. Of course, All-Star Superman, among other great things that Frank Quitely has done over the years. I don't know Charles Reisenstein, the Curse of Reisenstein. I don't know him. I'm sorry. James Robinson, my guy. I mentioned him earlier. Crypto's a Good Dog, among other great Superman stories. My dear friend Alex Ross, who also will be joining us on Word Balloon next week. We're going to record something on Tuesday. We'll put it out on Wednesday. Tim Sale, Superman for All Seasons. Come on, him and Jeff Loeb. What a great combination. The wonderful Bart Sears. Mike Sikowski, a wonderful Silver Age creator that doesn't get enough credit for his wonderful run at DC and other places. Hal Sharp. I don't know Hal Sharp. Jack Sparling. I know that name. I can't give you specifics, but I certainly know that name. The wonderful Joe Staten, who did a great run on the Green Lantern Corps back in the 80s and did a lot of Guy Gardner stuff back then. Len Straszewski, who is a great Chicagoan, and I'm really glad that he was included. Of course, the legendary Kurt Swan, the greatest Silver Age Superman artist, in my opinion. Sorry, that's just how I feel and always have. The wonderful Mark Waid, another dear friend and an excellent Superman writer. And I'm sorry to hear, someone was telling me earlier that Marv Wolfman a little under the weather and isn't able to travel anymore. And God bless him, man. He's a hell of a writer and a really sweet guy. And I hope he's okay. And I hope whatever ailments are only temporary. And I hope he gets better. They also thanked the Jerry Siegel family. They didn't thank the Joe Shuster family, which I found interesting. One key name that has been associated with Superman for a good part of the 2000s is missing. Can anyone think of it? I think it's pretty obvious. And I was really stunned that he wasn't included in the listings. I'll see if anybody can figure out who's missing. John Byrne was on the credits. Not at first Mitch said he wasn't. Yeah, he was. He was. And rightfully so. I mean, come on, that period of John and Jerry Ordway and even Jurgens and everything. I'm so excited to talk to Dan because, of course, he created Doomsday, big part of that whole thing. But all right, now interesting. I agree, Scott, and I didn't think initially. Scoot McMahon says Bruce Timm, and Bruce was not mentioned, which was surprising. But here we go. Greg McKean, you get the Silver Star, son. Well done. Jeff Johns. No mention of Jeff Johns. That is shocking. Scoot, you'll forgive me, but Paul Dini, I don't think was as integral, and maybe he was on the animated Superman. I'd certainly give it more to Bruce Timm than I would Paul. But also, maybe you're right, because I know Paul was involved with Justice League Action as well. But no Jeff Johns. And I realize that he was a big part of the Snyderverse era. But and I know he's moved on and he's moved away and he's doing other things now with Ghost Machine. And I won't deny Jeff is a friend, and I love Jeff. But really, that surprised me. And I don't know if that's, sour grapes on Warner Brothers' part. I have no idea. But it really, that stuck out and I felt was a glaring omission. And I didn't think that was right. So what can I say? Regarding the Snyderverse and the Snyderverse haters out there, get over it. You had 10 years of movies from Man of Steel to, yes, I'm going to include The Flash. Sorry, but all that stuff was hangover from the Snyderverse. And even though you could say that it ended with, I don't even know what specific movie you want to say, but most of the movies sucked. There were a couple good ones. But here, I'm going through the list. All right, I liked Man of Steel enough. It wasn't great, but it was okay. Batman Superman was just okay. First Suicide Squad sucked. First Wonder Woman, good. Not a great Act 3, but good. Then the Justice League movie. Well, I certainly feel bad that Zack Snyder had the death in the family, his daughter, which is just tragic. And Joss Whedon came in. Still a crappy movie. I'm sorry, kids. I just didn't like it. I liked Zack Snyder's 4-hour Justice League recut, the director's cut, better. That's your movie, by the way, where a whole bunch of random stuff happens that doesn't really connect. Sorry, that's just the way it was. The first Aquaman, good. Very good. Shazam, first movie, good. Liked it a lot. Birds of Prey, sucked. Wonder Woman, 84, sucked. Great trailer. I love that they used the New Order song, but sucked. And then you get into James Gunn Suicide Squad, which was good. Black Adam, I liked Black Adam. I didn't love it, but I liked it enough. And I loved that the Justice Society was in it. I thought The Rock did fine. And I liked it enough. But I know The Rock, and I love The Rock, but I guess The Rock was really kind of a jerk to the powers that be at Warner Brothers in demanding things. And he's the one that demanded that Cavill be in, the little scene at the end, the post-credit scene and everything. Okay, it is what it is. What are you going to do? The sequel to Shazam, it was okay. I didn't think it was great. That's interesting. Both Stanley and Greg. Stanley says he loved Birds of Prey. Greg said I'd give Birds of Prey a rewatch. Okay, I'll try and make time for it. Kit Kat says that COVID did a number on Birds of Prey. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, so the second Shazam movie, and then we had The Flash and the Aquaman sequels. And I'm sorry, that Flash movie was just a mess. It was just a mess. What are you going to do? It is what it is. Prince Parker, also another vote of confidence of Birds of Prey. All right, whatever. That's fine. Again, I won't wrestle you or anything in terms of my dislike of it. But really, guys, 10 years of essentially the Snyderverse continuity. That's a long time, okay? Sorry. Bye. Don't let the door hit you guys on the ass as you're leaving. And we're gonna go on Rotten Tomatoes and give the new Superman a bad review so it keeps the percentages down. Yeah, good luck. Good luck, because the tidal wave of all of us that love this movie are all gonna outshout you. So what are you gonna do? There you go, everybody. I'll give everyone a chance to maybe have a final comment, but and remind everybody of what's coming up. Man, I'll tell you, I'm really excited about this coming week on Word Balloon. Dan Jurgens on Monday night. Alex Ross and I are going to record Tuesday afternoon. Wednesday night, we're going to have the book club of us talking about Saga with Brian Bendis, maybe Tom King. I hope Tom is able to join us. It's a little late for him, but we try to do it. And also Thursday, what did I have on Thursday? Oh, Thursday, I'm going to have Mitch, Art and Franco, Scoot. Hopefully Wayne will join me as well. So 6 of us talking about Superman and really going to town. But I'll also ask you as I'm wrapping up, should I do a spoiler solo talk on Sunday? I don't know. I mean, I don't mean to get into overkill, but I know I'm going to talk about it with Jurgens, and we'll see how much Dan wants to talk spoiler or not. Because really, it's the first weekend. I don't want to be a jerk. I want to give people a chance to see the movie. This is something that drives me crazy, is how quick people are to spoil. Even some of these jerks that didn't like the movie. One guy who's really a very notorious guy and everything, he gave the whole plot of the movie away, and it's like, you jerk! It just came out. Wow. I'm like, you could have said negative things, just like I'm saying positive things without really spoiling any details. What a jerk! I'm sorry. And again, I'm not even going to dignify naming the guy. Sometimes I agree with him, but really, I'm like, man, you are all about the hate, aren't you? Yeah, this is just ridiculous. Prince Parker says yes to a solo, I guess, talk about Superman. Stanley also says yes, lots of Superman spoilers. Jeremy says great work you do, John. Thanks for letting us be part of the conversation. My pleasure, man. Again, I'm glad everyone's chiming in and giving their thoughts on this. Mitch says Ordway and I recorded our points on what we liked or didn't like today, but I won't post it until Tuesday. Well, la-di-da, Mitch. I'm kidding. No, that's great. Everybody, again, fantastic podcast, The Power Cosmic, and always worth your time. So check that out. And again, both guys speak from authority. Prince Parker says, I saw the movie on Monday. I've just isolated myself from my friends not to be a jerk. Yeah, because honestly, I remember when Skyfall came out and everyone was, and literally USA Today, the Friday the movie opened, Emma's dead. They killed Judi Dench. It's like, hey, jerks. We haven't even, like the movie hasn't even been out yet. It's not even 11 o'clock in the morning and I'm reading this. Thanks a lot. So I don't know. I realize I live in a world where it's all about the spoilers. Kit Kat says, I 100% agree with you on how fast spoilers are online, but I would love to hear Jurgen's thoughts on the movie as well. Well, I know Jurgens at the very least will give us, and I have a feeling that Dan enjoyed it. But let's see. Henry says, saw someone post a pic of the spoiler cameo at the end. What an a-hole. Yeah. I'm not going to say it, but yeah. And it was a cute surprise. Thank God it was a surprise to me. I didn't like how there's a toy out there. And if you don't know, I won't spoil it. But there's a toy out there that kind of reveals one of the characters. And I'm like, okay. I don't think that was necessary, but whatever. What does Stanley have to say here as we're wrapping up? How much do I think the movie will make? I have no idea, Stanley, because it's a different world. Really, COVID and the strikes really did a number on the movie-going audience. And we got really comfortable for those 2 years seeing movies at home. And I don't think they were smart in releasing as much product as they did during COVID. And also, they kind of forgot the secret recipe of what made these movies great. And we got a lot of crappy movies. And I think I do think Superman is going to be an exception because, again, it is such a universal idea. And I think they've done a good job promoting everything as well. By the way, the popcorn buckets, and the same goes with the Galactus popcorn bucket, hundreds of years from now, if the world doesn't blow up first, they're going to excavate a bunch of these things in landfills and go, what the hell do these people pray to? What do these things represent? These popcorn buckets are getting insane. I think the dog dish of Crypto is cute and some of the other ones, but Jesus, man. Jesus. Let's see here. Michael. Good to see you, Michael Stratford. Sorry I missed most of tonight's show. Sounds like you dug it. Love Superman and Lois. Awesome chemistry. Jimmy and Crypto. I agree with you, Michael. Well, you can always rewind if you really give a damn, Michael. It's all right. Jiroko thought that the stuff was just Funko. No, other things too. That's true. Mitch said, hold on. Mitch says, let me show it. There we go. Got my Daily Planet newspaper holder popcorn bucket. Scoot says, my son is 9, and this is the first superhero movie he's been excited to see. So that's a good sign. Can't lose the kids. 100%, man. My dear friend Greg Rucka said this about Man of Steel, and I think he said it about the Chris Nolan movies. And of course, great Batman writer and Superman writer, Greg Rucka. And he's like, if I can't take my kids to see a superhero movie, it's a fail. And I kind of agree with him. We grew up on the cartoons and the TV shows as much as we did the comic books. And, you want to keep the tradition going. Get the kids in, for God's sake. Oh, by the way, I love what's the Japanese animated show? My Friend is Superman, My Hero is Superman. The one that was on Cartoon Network. 2 seasons of it. Great show. I thought that was an excellent show. And I don't mind those little changes and stuff. Those things are great. So, it seems like everyone is saying, John, you should do a spoiler. So, yeah, Sunday night, I guess I'll come back here and we can do a spoiler conversation and I'll get into it. If you don't want it spoiled, don't watch. Don't listen. Don't worry. There's going to be plenty. Don't watch. Don't listen. Don't worry. Because there's plenty of more Word Balloon content for you to enjoy prior to Thursday night when we will fully spoil with Mitch and Art and Franco and Scoot and Wayne, hopefully, and the whole gang. The whole Word Balloon Network gang will be here live to talk about that. Well, thanks a lot, everybody. I really appreciated the participation. I thought you had great comments, and it meant a lot that you guys are watching. And as opposed to me doing a nice conversation with somebody watching me blather for almost an hour. So I hope you enjoyed it. let's see. I'm gonna, for the rest of the weekend, you might get a rerun on Saturday, but on Sunday I will come back Sunday night here on YouTube and Facebook to give you spoilers and my thoughts on the Superman movie. So thank you for watching. Until next time, everybody stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy.